Alrighty. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Tuesday. More fun, that's for sure. Let's see what's going on. Um, you can see right there. Oh, what do we have there? On the Swiss. Okay, so Swiss is looking a little flattish here, but on ours, why is it showing? Oh, it's candlesticks, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. Let's just double check that. Do we have the right time frame? Dollar Swiss trading at 93.05, and we have it trading here at. Let me put my glasses on so we can actually see that. And it's trade. Why am I having an issue with this here? Let's just put right there, right that. And it's trading at 93.0. Yeah, trading at 93.05. We have a nice candle moving up in there. I'm not sure what that's all about, but in the end, oh, that's right. This is Hinky Ashy. I forgot all about it. Sorry about that, traders. So you can see the strength in the Swiss, which insinuates obviously is that the strength is coming into the dollar again. Mrs. Yellen is speaking again. You know, Powell is saying something again. You know, they just repeat themselves over and over again. And my God, it's like they can't even, like, I don't know, they just they put the statements out. Let's let the markets do their thing. You know, there's no reason in the world why they need to repeat over and over just a week or later. Um, it's like as if our attention span has dropped on such a small level now. Okay. So that's just insinuating right off that there's strength in the dollar and weakness in the pairs. So let's see how it looks around the board here. Probably the only thing I've noticed so far is that Turkish Lira is not getting into its rhythm, which is kind of odd. I don't know if that means there's another shoe to drop or what, but I think it's just going to go right back into the downwardly mode, heading towards into the sevens again. But we'll see that in a few minutes. I just want to head to the euro at this point. Right there. Yeah, there you go. Down, down, down as she goes. And let's put it right there. And you can see same thing here. Matter of fact, let's widen that. Where's the widener? Like that. You can see we're trying to bounce up a little bit with our gas line. As you can see, it's trying to lift. You know, we're trying to get something going on there, but we're in that weekly sell. There's definitely downward pressure on the product. The dollar seems to be firm, and it doesn't seem to want to let go. Yesterday, I think they made a statement about a crypto. It seems like the oddest thing in the world, but the Federal Reserve's talking about creating a crypto. Yeah, it's like the fox saying they're going to guard the hen house, you know? I don't, somehow or another, it seems like a real disconnect. In many ways, our markets seem to be totally incoherent to what people are concerned about. So, in other words, cryptos are growing because they have a lack of confidence in central banks. So, when, like, the People's Bank of China, or the China Bank of, yeah, the People's Bank of China, or the Federal Reserve, or anyone else, and these central banks say they're going to create these things, no, people have a lack of confidence in the central banks. That's why they reach for these products. It's the oddest thing in the world. It's like deny reality. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Now let's check out the cable. Right there. Cable's still drifting down. We are challenging some of these lows here. So they're really giving it a good push. I mean, we went into the weekly sell last week. Let's see. Let's make that solid line like so. There it is. And the pressure is on. You know, so maybe, you know, it's had a wonderful run from the 120s to the, or was it the 140s? So, you know, a little digestion in there. In other words, someone's got to take their profits. And it is tax season, so it does seem logical for them to take their profits and move on, you know. All right, now we go from there over to, as I was saying earlier, Turkish Lira is the only one that's really giving me a surprise here. Um, you know, excuse me. We are, where is it at there? It's trading in the 788 area, kind of like, you know, and, you know, a little underneath that. And we're still in a sell. We're in a weekly sell, and it doesn't seem to want to let go. In other words, it seems to be moving down from that crazy spike, and I guess another day or two, and then whatever went on there, it wasn't front run. You can see that much. Normally our math will pick up a front run going on. In other words, insider trading spots. They spot. The math picks up the insider trading with no problem. It starts to lead a couple days ahead of time or a day ahead of time, trying to front run the trade. In this case here, it was obviously something terrified President Erdogan, and he struck on Saturday night or Sunday or whatever it was. He struck like lightning. So he wasn't able to front run it. Whatever happened was not in his what do they call that? Like wheelhouse, I guess you could say. So in other words, he wasn't expecting the problem that occurred to occur. Because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just did it. Boom. And when he did that, you can see this major spike occurred. And you can see the spike doesn't seem to want to hold on. Now this thing, we're looking at a product that went from... Let's do it on this J4X. J4X is a lot easier to show the distance. We're going to go with a weekly. Move to the dollar lira. Right there. Let's let this load in. Yeah, so it's a lower high going on in here. I kind of think that if because it made such a run from the fives, just over a year and a half period to the eights, you got to assume that that there probably is more. It's like one of those Elliott wave A, B, C things going on, and maybe it'll come down and challenge. We've been wondering about it challenging busting the sevens and going through the sixes, just the high sixes if nothing else. So we'll see how this plays out over the next couple days. As far as I'm concerned, just the way it's been acting, it kind of says to me that they're done. That in other words, they don't. The sellers that came in and pushed it back up to the 8.5 don't seem like they have any concern to do any more of it. They're just still trying to figure out what's going on, I guess. Like I said, I think President Erdogan. That's what I'm saying is I think that President Erdogan did this at such a ferocious pace. Money's not really sure how to interpret it. I think that's what it really comes down to. And so that was what they call the knee-jerk effect. The knee-jerk effect was to drive it right back to the 8.5. And then after it got there, they found out that no one was there. So today, you can see just up a little bit or down a little bit from yesterday, made the same type of low, and it's still sitting there thinking, I don't know, I don't know what to do. Am I going back to 8.5? And I say, no, the math is trying to tell us that it wants to go down. And so that's what that is. Unfortunately, this product... Hey, T-Set, how you doing? T-Set so. Why sound level so low? How about now? Is it any better? I maxed volume and still not. How about again? Can you hear me now? Oh, let me just double check mine too. Okay, no, it sounds good. I'm getting good sound. I think my microphone was pushed to the left a little bit. That's all. And I moved it, and so it's probably a little delayed to you. Yeah, so yours should be all right. Yeah. How about now? Is it any better? Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If it straightens out for you. All right, what we're going to do now is jump over to Canadian. But for any of those that are... Oh, good. Glad it's better now. For anybody that's trading the Turkish Lira, I think it's going to fall back down again. In other words, I think it's going to go back into the sevens. And we'll see from there. and it may even shake. Now, I unfortunately I've been just doing too many things, and I didn't even read any article or what. I mean, I read that he fired the fellow from the central bank. That's what I read, but I didn't pay attention to the nuances. Normally, I'll usually pay attention to that, but we got so many crazy things going on nowadays, in the marketplace, that it just doesn't, and it's not that good a trading product unless you live in that country or you're an importer exporter from that country. It's just not that friendly to trade. The margins are enormous, the options are non-existent, so I kind of steer clear of it all. But let's put it this way: our math will help out anybody who has to try to trade this Turkish Lira beast. No doubt about that. But right now, that crazy spike, if you had a position on following our work, I think it's going to come back to it. So if you can hold on, hold on. All right, there's Canadian. Let's put Canadian up on there too. Where is it? Right. There it is. So there's the Canadian against the dollar. Hey, Robin. BPY dollar? Sure. We can go back to that. Let's see. Right there. You can see the weakness in it. We're in a... Oh, yeah, where's our daily sell on there? I know that our charts that go out at Chicago Quant have the sell on it. Let me put that in there. Where's the mousey? Where's right there? There's the mousey. And there's the sell right there. I'm glad you mentioned that. There we are. It's been in a sell for a couple of days. You can see it on the fact check spreadsheet on line 13. 2 days in a sell. This is going on the third day. Where's that? Right there. So that pressure is on. I am impressed that we are making lows against this stuff here. So this is turning into the classic profit taker, and we're in a weekly sell. And so we'll see what kind of action, what kind of action we see over the next, 2 weeks. But right now it looks like it'll just be zigzag on the downside for a little while here. We don't see any great disaster going on there, just a little selling, nothing major out of it all. All right, now let's jump back to Canadian, and there's Canadian right there. You see Canadian has that strength. It's in the daily buy from, I think it's right there, yeah. So this is the third full day. What's it say on fact check? It says on line 20, 3 days. And so let's put that line in also. Right there. Oop, not there. It's right there. Oh, gotta go get it a line. Go grab the line again. And there is, there we go. Right there. Only drag on this product in particular is the overall weekly trend from up here that's shifted to the downside has just been a saber-tooth move. Making new lows, of course, and maybe, revisiting where it went into the sell in this, what is that? That's the 127.5 area, that type of thing. Low 127s. And as you can see right there right now, do we have it up on J4? Yeah, we have it on J4 because it's trading at 125.60. So it's got a little bit more work to do. Like I said, I don't see a lot of I see the dollar staying firm. One of my sons last night said to me that he's been picking up cryptos for the last 6 months. He's been buying Bitcoin, he's been buying Ethereum, and it's like, or maybe even less, not even 6 months. And I think that he said to me that he has less confidence in the dollar. And I said, I wouldn't. It's one thing to be unhappy with the Federal Reserve, but when it comes to the dollar, if there's no dollar, I don't know what kind of world currency there would be. In other words, China can't replace it. The European Union has no ability to replace it. Obviously, the Russian Federation has no ability to replace it. None of them. Let's put it this way: no one is going to back their currency with a physical. The most I could see would be some oil nations that have large productions might try to do something, but I don't see it. I just don't see any of these countries backing their currency with a physical like gold and silver. Remember a couple years ago when the the People's Bank of China said that they were going to produce a currency that was backed by oil and gold. You see where that's at? Nowhere. It's classic communist, what's that word I'm looking for? Communist rhetoric type of, blabber. They're not going to do that. There's no way in the world. They're not going to deliver. You buy their currency and then you exercise it into gold? Nah, not even close. No one is willing to do that at this point in time. So betting against the dollar is not exactly the smartest thing. Trade the dollar, sure. But betting against it like it's going to go to zero, forget it. If it goes to zero, all the currencies will be at zero. There is no, it's the central bank of the world. I don't see any, it'd be one thing if you had, the European Union functioning on a capitalist level. And I'm trying to lay out the scenario. What would do it? The central bank in Europe being governed by a pro-capitalist constitution of some form, enhancing the growth in small businesses, lowering taxes. The only thing that even fits that remotely is Poland, and that's only just one nation in the European Union. That doesn't exist. So how anybody, and don't even start on China. China can't even, what do? Their currency trades 2% of the day. That's it. 2% of all currencies traded in the world today, that's all they produce. So in other words, they're not trading 15% or 20% of world currencies. They're trading 2% or 1 3/4 or 2 1/4. That's all they're doing. So there's no way in the world. I mean, you put they'd have to fix it, like the way Hong Kong does, and that would bankrupt them, and it would be wild. It would be like the ruble coming out of the 90s. One moment it's 4, the next moment it's 8, the next moment it's 12 and 13, and now look at it trading 67 or something like that. Let's just look at the ruble, right there. And the ruble, I think, is a very firm product. It's trading at a higher range than I would expect it to. I'm thinking it should be in the 40s myself. I see the economy a better economy, but nah, there's nobody out there to do it. So between Mrs. Yan and Mr. Powell saying stuff like, well, we're thinking about having a cryptocurrency too. It's like, are you crazy? People are running from you. They're not running towards you. And so, none of that makes any sense whatsoever. Oh, there we go. T-SETSO, communist world never, world reserve currency, no way. Right, exactly. And so, our medias are so disorganized and disgenuous to provide actual information and news. And they sing this song all the time like, oh yeah, China's going to become the world power. World power of what? Of communists, that's all. Sure isn't going to be world power of capitalism. That's for sure. It may be the world power right now. Obviously, it's probably the world power of communism. But then think about it. How many communist nations in this world have, sell $300 and $400 billion a year of goods to America? Nobody. And that is drying up slow and steady, even with Mr. Biden in Washington. So it's really hard to take, Mrs. Yan and Mr. Powell and them talking about making cryptos and competing, and it's not real. None of it's real. It's very strange. All right, let's jump over to. I was looking at ruble, right? Yeah. So, oh no, we were looking at CAD, and I was just comparing that. So let's jump over to the net and New Zealand or the loonie against the Canadian dollar. Let's do that. We should. You know what we should do before we do that? just look at the Zolt. You know what? We'll save it after we do the New Zealand CAD. Unless someone wants to see something, we'll jump over to the oil, the energy sector, and from the energy sector, we'll jump back to. We'll take a look at the Polish currency since I mentioned it. The dollar zloty there. Do we have $2 zlotys going on? I guess we do, don't we? No. Oh, I know. That's Euro zloty. That's what it is. Okay, yeah. So we'll take a look at the Euro zloty. But let's look at NASCAD at the moment, right there. So Canadian's moving up, so that means oil should have some pressure on it on the downside. And what's Looney Trade is doing the same thing. Okay, so we see pressure here. So we're going to oil. Now I'm looking over on the other. I have 9 screens in front of me. So I'm looking now at one of on my far right that I don't usually watch that much. That far over. It's got 6 charts up on it, and one of them is crude, and I can see they are smackadoodling the crude. So that fits perfectly with the way the currency pairs are moving. So now let's do this. Let's jump over to crude oil. Well, there's Robo right there. Robo's down today. So that's the gas oil for the automobiles. And so you can see that there. Not gold. Where are we at? Oop. And there's oil. Okay, so there's crude oil itself. It's also down and playing with the lows of 3 days ago. You can see we're flirting with a weekly sell today a little bit there. And at the same time, we're playing with the lows of 4 days back. So the pressure is there. And that's why we see the Canadian going up, losing money against the dollar. That's why we see the NASCAD going down. And that's why that we're seeing that in the pairs trades there. All right. All right, now let's just take a look at natural gas, and then we'll go back to the currencies. And there is natural gas, looking like there's a little pressure on it, but nothing major. It is below yesterday's close. Let's see where to do it. I'll do it over here. Let's do a refresh on this one in particular. Where's the reload? There it is. Yeah. Just a little bit, nothing major, but you can see it's holding up very firm in here. But our weekly's in a sell, so it's stuck in the neutral. I mean, the thing went into the weekly sells here. We go up. Every sell has been a good sell, and then it's telling us right now that they're trying to buy it. At this time of the year, buying natural gas, I can see that the weather maps every month keep on showing that the evenings are really cold. We've been this way for a couple of years now, where we're below average. So, this global cooling that I talk about all the time that the climate people don't talk about is the fact that the world's not getting warmer, it's getting colder. So maybe that's the possibility why they're not doing anything with the the natural gas, or maybe it's just in the States at this point, thinking that Mr. Biden hasn't been able to disrupt the natural gas yet. So that could be what's going on. It's so hard to say. We just know that it does seem a little odd to see this much firmness. Sometimes you see it in July or June, but to start watching it try to rebound in late February, March is kind of odd. All right, so now let's go over to the currencies again, and let's look at the Euro zloty. As you can see here, it's very, very tight in its range. Let's use the mouse over here. See, it's tight in its range, and it's not really making major moves whatsoever. I mean, this distance from here to there, this line here to this top line here of resistance, I think that's like 10 pips. Not 10 pips, 10 handles. That's all that is. So that's the 460, and that is the 440. Okay, so it's 20 handles. That's it. I mean, that's pretty tight. It's a very tight range, 460 to 440, and even so, it's even inside that to some extent, almost like orbiting the 450 area. we just don't see a lot of, this is what happens when your society is a solid little capitalist nation. It becomes the second largest industrialized nation on the continent, and it has like 1/3 the population of like France, or half the population or something like that. And they bumped France out to move into the second position, or battle constantly for the second position. This is what happens when you have responsible government enhancing business, not trying to rob business. And that's what the problem really is. And matter of fact, what's her name? Lagarde was saying that she's going to start implementing more buybacks. There's nothing more to buy back. They bought it all. But she's going to plow more money into it. Is it really growing small businesses? Is it enhancing the GDP? Nah, we're not seeing any of that from the official functions of the ECB. All we see is basically a continent in stasis, going nowhere. Not going up, not going down, just going sideways. If it wasn't for Brexit, really, there'd be like no news whatsoever in Europe for like the last 6-7 years. I mean, really, that's it. If it wasn't for Brexit, it would be so chill, and there'd be so, there's just nothing really going on. And it is amazing. So, all right, let's see. So that's Zolty. We did take a look at the ruble. That was cool. Let's see what else going on. Let's say Aussie. I think it's in the daily sell, right? Yeah. This thing was in a weekly buy for over 20 weeks. Fell into the weekly sell last week. Right there. Let's put that line in. Where is that at? There, I'll use this mouse. Went into a weekly sell last week here. Well, what happened there? Let's try that again. Oh, it's right here. That's what it is. So that went into the weekly sell last week after 20 some odd weeks in a buy. And I guess it has to take some profits. Like I said, tax season's coming up. Yeah, the man wants his flesh. That's right, the man. Uncle Sammy. You see here, weekly buy here back in October 30th week. In here, in here somewhere. And then you see, it ran up to there, which is 79 from, what was it down here? 71? Something like that, 70 and a half, 71. 71's good, call it that. And now they're obviously, you can see it went into this sell here on a daily, and it rode down all the way to here, and then they gave it a little bump. And now they've been back into the sell again. That's not right there. Where is it? Right there? Not there, right there. There it is, for 3 days. Let's just check the fact check spreadsheet. So it should say 2 in the box. Yep. Line 12, right there. Oop, let's try it again. So right there you can see that. 1 week in a sell, 2 days in a sell. This is the third day now. So that's the name of that tune. All right, now let's. Where are we jumping off to next? Let's see. Where is it next? Who else on the currency side? Well, let's look at yen. There's yen. Yen is down. Is it 1, 2? It's like 4 days. And so that's holding up there. I think I put, it reminds me. Let me check the fact check spreadsheet. Something's wrong there because last night I tried putting in a sell, wasn't paying attention, doing my run and gun, and then I realized I thought I put the 3 in the CAD spot. So let's just double check. So there's the yen. You can see it's in a sell but in a weekly buy. So it's trapped in that nowhere spot. And let me go back to this. Yeah, so it's in 3 days in a buy too. Okay. All right. So again, the yen sideways. Not getting any legs there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I guess, is that 4? So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 5. Yeah, so it goes on. It should be 4, not 3. and I had it in there as a 1 on the long side, and I knew that it was wrong. I remember punching on it and thinking, then I looked up and I thought, oh, I got it right. And then I realized this morning doing this with you, with all of you all over the world, that I did it in the CAD in some ways. And that was what that was, and it should have been a 4. So that's where it is with the dollar against the yen. Now let's take a peek at what else is worth peeking at on the currency side here that we want to take a peek at. Let's go through it. Oh, what we've done is we have drifted to watching the peso every day. The peso is doing some interesting stuff here. It's been in the sell with this. Now we're flirting with a weekly sell. I don't know how much life that'll have. The last big one was this. The last one was this. It was very short-lived for just 2 weeks, and then boom, it turned around again. So we'll keep an eye on that. But that's starting to play with the, let's fix that. Make that grayish, like so. And make that pinkish, like so. And see how they push on that for a while. See if it's just like a week or two into a sell. It has to still close there. But, we'll see if it does that. Hey, Daniel. What's happening? Hi, Doc. Yeah, dollar TRY officially bullish. Oh, for you, yeah? Yeah, I was talking about that. Check this out. What happened on Saturday night or Sunday night with Aragon and him firing that fellow from the central bank was a knee-jerk action. You can see that, okay? And you notice that the money knee-jerked up and then dropped pretty dramatic, but still didn't get us back to here. And then today you can see we've kind of opened down a little bit, went down some, we're about flat. But our work is telling us that there's pressure on the downside here. It really is. There's no interest in all. I don't see any internal buyers whatsoever. I don't see them. Where's the white line? Let's see where that's at. Okay, so the white line is trying to make a curve up, but look how far away it is from the time manifold. I don't see... Oop, wrong thing there. Sorry about that. Excuse me. No COVID. Let's see, right there. And then let's widen it again like that. So I'm not really seeing any positive action. We'd need that white line to come up to here. It doesn't seem like it has any interest. I think it's going to come back and touch this area here at least. Right here, right in this area here. Maybe it'll try to bounce again. If they don't find buyers, or I guess it would be sellers officially. If they don't find sellers, then it's going to come right back down into this price area. But it really shows that whatever the president did, it was not thought about. In other words, it was executed blindly and aggressively, but it was not planned. Because we've seen them front-run products. We see this thing make a move. We go, oh, wonder what's going on there. And then a couple of days later or a week later is an announcement, and it happens, and he front-runs it. In this case here, what happened on this weekend, getting rid of the central banker, it was a blind side. It was a true blind side. Let's see. So you see what I'm saying there? Now, 47, good morning to you. GBP Swissy, let's check that out. GBP Swissy. And there's the Yansky. That's the Polish cousin. And there it is right there. And I can say that. I have some Polish in me. And so you can see a day in a sell. It's perking its head up right there. We're cleanly in the weekly buy on the GBP Swiss. So there's not much change going on in here. I guess it hasn't been able to get into the buy because of these two red greens. So let's do a refresh on this real quick just to see if there's any change, but I doubt it. There we are. Nah. So it's been in the sell from here, right there. Actually, what is that? Oh, no, I think it's back here. That's what it is. It went into the sell here, and then sold down to here, and it's tried to lift, but it's not doing it with any real fanfare. You know, no green dots and you know, so forth. The histogram can't get going on the plus side. When it finally does, I guess it's right there. It's a red-green again, so it can't get going. It lifts up but closes lower here, and still can't get going. And then it rolls over again, basically challenge these lows here. So that's not much action there. Let's see. Hope that helps out, 47. And you can see here that it's in a weekly buy out of all this. So you can't take the sell, and you're only supposed to stay flat until it goes back into a buy. Now, oh, Palladium. Daniel's looking at the Palladium. Let's check out Palladium. Palladium right there. There we are. And this is, which Palladium is this? This is, oh, this is March Palladium. So this is the cash. So we've been in the buy here. We've been in the weekly buy here. Yeah, our work has been saying that it was going up a while back in March 9th. I don't know if it's still bullish. I guess we're in a weekly buy and a daily buy, so you know, it's something to think about. I'm not sure why that's there, but let's remove that. Yeah, so I mean, will it go take out another leg on the upside? Could. We're there. I would like this to go minus, and then when it goes back through the plus, that's on the day quant here. That's how I like to trade it. But it has the possibility, and I guess if it's oh, you're welcome, 47. And I guess it has the possibility due to the fact that it's, if you're trading options in it, it's okay to stay long, you know. But if you're trading the hard delta, this product can fly a couple $100 out of nowhere. So it's, you could get stopped out, and the next thing you know, you find at the end of the day it's higher than where it closed, and you're like, wait a minute, how did I get stopped out? Again, stops and hard deltas, you know, that's kind of like a 1960s thing, maybe early 70s. That's about it. Once options were created, it really removes that whole concept. The volatility is dramatically more aggressive. And that's what the problem is. You know, using stops, you have to really be appreciative of the volatility of the product you're trading it in, or you'll just get, all you're going to do is guaranteed losses most of the time. And at the same time, you need to find a hedge. So how do you find a hedge in a volatile world? Options. That's what created the volatility. You know, in other words, what it's like the what do you call it? The what is it? The hair of the dog. That's what they say. The hair of the dog. Let's see. Oh, here you go. Daniel says ruble, Turkish lira, Swiss, and is that the kroner, right? Is that a kroner? Bullish. All three of them are bullish. What makes them bullish? Your work? Let's take a look and see. So you're bullish on the ruble? Let's take a look at the ruble. Here's the ruble. Yeah, we're in a weekly buy for a week and spiking nicely from it, and a daily buy. So our math is also bullish. Then let's take a look at dollar Turkish lira. Dollar Turkish lira. I know we have it in here. I thought we had it in there. There it is right there. Dollar Turkish lira. Looks pretty much the same as the what do you call it? The euro. Not much of a difference between the euro and it. Let's see, what's the other one? Swissy? Yeah, Swissy's what? Look on the fact check spreadsheet. Where's Swissy at? Line 21, right? So we're 10 weeks in a buy, and that thing has been going up. Yeah, so we've been in a buy from here on a weekly trend, and the daily trend from here. Let's do this, something like that. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. That's a minus. It's right there. So not too explosive. Let's put it that way. And then let's go find that dollar SEK. Right there. Activate. TA. TA. What's TA? TA. Let me think what TA is. The average? Is it a moving average? TA. That's the indicator, the TA? Okay. Let me see if I can find it for you here. Indicators. And let's go to the T's. Let's see. T's. ROST. There you go. Typical price, tricks, trend line, automatic, TPO, time series. Which one is it out of those things? Technical analysis. Ah, okay. Cool. Excellent. Sometimes I can be very simple in the head, Daniel. Remember that. Sometimes I am as sharp as a bowling ball. In other words, I am not sharp at all. Okay, now there is that. I guess we're in a weekly buy since there. So it's 4 weeks in a weekly buy. We've come up from the... I guess that's it right there. So we've been in a weekly buy since there. We went into the daily buy on that. And it's going up. That makes sense. Yeah, I see that. So if you want to use an indicator, generally use MACD. It's a laggard. To me, my math is so far ahead of MACD. You know, it's just whole different game. MACD, you know, I think that out of all the public things, using a slow moving stochastic against a fast one and comparing the two is much faster than MACD. You know, the one I have set up on the J4X is so much more efficient. Let's try that. Let's see that. Let's see if we can put MACD in below it. Let's see where it would be. Right there. Add an indicator. MACD. Not there. Let's see. Momentum, maybe? I know it's considered a leading indicator, but not around me it isn't. Let's see, where would MACD be in this combination? We can put that in. Do you know on the J4X where the MACD is? Let's see. MACD. Are they using the ADX maybe? Cycles. Or psychos. We just call them psychos on the floor. Account services. Math. Momentum. It's a Momo, I know that much. Is it the ADX possibly? Oh no, I don't doubt it is. It's just that it's a lagging indicator compared to the ones I use. Let's see. Overlap studies. And it is listed in technical analysis as a leading indicator. And they actually have stochastics considered a lagging indicator. But the way I use stochastics is a leading indicator. I knew George. George and I did some stuff together at one time or another at some shows. Or not shows. I guess in Philadelphia at some currency things. Back in the 90s. I don't see. Where is the MACD on this thing? Why don't I see MACD? I think it's the ADX. I think they may be using it there. Let's take a look at that. No, that's not it. Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's put it on mine. Because I know where it is on mine. Let's see. Format, indicator, and let's add the MACD. McClellan, MACD. There's two MACDs. Let's go like that. And let's put it, properties, it's on 1, and let's put it in 2. So it'll be right in here. You'll see it in there. Whoa, that's not right. So we got to change the parameters of that, right? Yeah. So how can I see it? We are the black. So okay, so that's what it is right there. Let's see if we can do this. We'll move this up. Let's take this one, properties, and move it to the. Let's see. I'm going to put it in 3 instead. So let's do this. Cancel. And then we'll be able to actually view the two together, which is kind of neat. Where's MACD at? There it is right there. So let's move this into 3. And then let's move this into the bottom like that. There you go. Okay, now we're cooking with gas here now. Okay, so that's mine. And this is daily, so that's not too bad. But I guess because it turned the green line pierced the one, or do you wait for this thing to go through the 0 line? You see what I'm saying there? Momentum indicator, not sure if J4X has it. Yeah, check it out. I've put it up on mine instead. Hey, George, silver going down again. Poor silver. I mean, it just goes on and on and on with that. Let's see. T-set so says, type in quick filter. Is that what it is? It's like a search. Okay, thanks. Good job, T-set so. And then I figured this is even better because what I'm doing, I'm insinuating that mine's way better anyway. So you can see here, this thing started to go down in momentum. Mine went through my 0 line, telling us that the weakness is there for those days. This one just dipped down. So if it's going down, you automatically have to short it, or you see what I'm saying? It's not receptive enough. I mean, the lines crossed here. That's great. Now, do you buy off of those lines every time they cross? Like, would you buy it right there? And then I guess you would need to, and the histogram was plus, so you buy it there and it crushes you. See what I'm saying? Oh, wait a second. You don't see the screen. No wonder. Doc. Like I said, Doc is about as sharp as a bowling ball sometimes. There we are. How about that? Like that. I wonder if I can make that darker, the background. Like that. Does that help? Could that help? I guess that could help. And then let's fix this to make that more visible. So we'll make them thicker. Like that. There we are. Yeah. So it has the attributes. There's no doubt about it. But then when you look at J4X, can it really... we've done this on this already. I know we have. My stochastic combination on J4X is so much more sensitive to the future direction of the market. So that's what I'm saying there. And then you can see here, and let's widen this out even more. Can you see those black bars still? You know, I think we should change those colors so it can be seen like purple or something. No, that's not good enough. Let's see. How about we'll go with cyan. There we go. So you can see here. Now this is cool. When it breaks the green line, gets crossed the 0 line. Our line broke here, you know, at the lows, and started telling you to be long. This one does it here, right there, after this nice big move. See what I'm saying? And even when you put the thing that I developed for J4X, and it almost matches up to my. I was doing stochastics with candles for color changes, but when you do it with two stochastics, I should rewrite that code and put the contest back on again. But just a quick thought there. So what you got is that this is so much more sensitive than the MACD. Yeah, you're right about that, Daniel. That is a very good point. We should do. I should do that. I should. I agree. We can do that. I can try to set it up and we can. We did something like that. I want to say 6-7 months ago. I don't remember if you were around for it or not, but I think you may have instigated it. I can tell you that much. And so that is something to be really thought about, and that is that the the MACD is. I have a friend that trades with his MACD, uses the MACD all the time, and I just shake my head. Okay, yeah, that's cool, but I don't see it as it's listed when you look at. There's like in the Market Technicians Association, they have indicators and what they are: leading indicators and then lagging indicators. They have the stochastic as a lagging indicator. They have the MACD as a leading indicator. But the way I use my stochastic, it's definitely outperforms it. That's for sure. But I think you're right. I think no, I'm not. And I don't think it. I know it. I know you're right. We should do something and take a look at a couple of indicators against the MACD, and then we could go from there. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't find, like I said, I don't find the MACD a leading indicator because my indicator, the gas lines, are so much faster. Or, just even on J4X, we've tried that. Looking at the same thing. Matter of fact, I guess what we should do to start off with is we should go back to J4X right here. And let's see, let me go back to what TSET said. So what do? We do quick filter. Which one's quick filter? Right there, maybe? Quick filter, zoom in area. Let me just read what he said again. It's like search. Quick filter. Where's quick filter? Remember, sometimes I'm not the sharpest around here. View. Try that. Not there. Help. Quick for updates. About. Forum support chart. Support chart. Report an issue. Videos to settings. View strategies. I mean, MACD's got to jump out around here somewhere. Let's try that one more time. When we go there, add it. Oh, quick search. There you go. There's quick search. Thank you. MACD. Nope, not that one. MACD. There we go. There we are. Now, in this case here, you can see our white line. Let's widen this out a little bit. The white line pierces here. It's telling us to be short, basically, plain and simple. No doubt that this is moving down also and has done the same thing, and the line is even broken, which is a very positive thing. In other words, they're matching up very well here. Now, in this case here, we go into a buy. You see it goes up in value. MACD is still sliding down, but the histogram is turning up. And you can see that the solid line has turned up, but has not pierced that dashed line that they have there. And then it rolls over again. Now, we roll over here, right? You can see that. And it starts to, and then it gives a day or two again, and there's a little strength. And then notice we turn over here, and we're back into the short again, right? So you're missing some turns that could mess up your stop orders. See what I'm saying there? See, Daniel says, my favorite in composite momentum indicator, that is available on Trading View combined with Murray's Math Oscillator. Ah, yeah, also. Okay, also available on Trade View. Okay, Daniel, I use MACD with the 12, 50, and 7 instead of the defaults of 12, 26, and 9. Okay. All right, yeah, so that's where we are. I see that. I'm going to leave this up here, and then what we'll do is we can go after this again tomorrow. You know, we can go through the charts, and then at some point join in again. You join in again. We'll go through this. Because notice in this case here, it goes through. I mean, let me just move this back a little bit. But isn't there a point where, yeah, see the lines were plus here. So throughout this whole, and this is a daily chart. So throughout this whole thing, the lines go underneath the zero line here, you know, the histogram, and they never go plus again. They've been minus ever since. So I mean, and we'll have to change the parameters. Edit indicator. Let's see, what did you say there? 12, 26, 9, and you're doing 12:57. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see what that looks like right before we leave here. And 7. There we are. Has it helped any? Does that make any sense even more, or what? Now it's pulled this down where it never got through more than a day or two. See, look how receptive this is. It told you to be long in this area here, or at least not to be short. One or the other, take your choice. This is not telling us that at all. Now this is a daily too, as you can say, you know. So, all right. So I think that's what we're going to label this today as the beginning of MACD compared to other indicators. Part 1. We'll call it that. MACD compared to, yeah, crazy. All right. This is Doc from North America. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, T-Set So. Thank you, George. And who else has been jumping around in here today playing with us? Giving us definitely good answers and things that we need to try to figure out. And Robin, thank you very much. So this is Doc from North America saying arrivederci. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our cyber trading friends.